Here's the full breakdown and walkthrough on how to find all 30 Dinosaur Bone locations, complete the Test of Faith Stranger mission, get the Jawbone Knife, and get that much closer to your 100% completion of Red Dead Redemption 2. Welcome in, my name is J-Rock. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to do from triggering the first encounter with Deborah MacGuiness to easily finding all 30 Dinosaur Bone locations to sending off the location info and completing the Stranger mission entirely. I'll start by showing the locations and I'll save the final cutscene of the mission for the very end in case you want to experience that yourself in your own playthrough. But make sure to come back and leave me a comment letting me know how it went for you. Now, fair warning, there's a lot of these damn Dinosaur Bones, and if you hyper focus on getting all of them at once like I do, it's going to feel like work. So I highly recommend spreading this out throughout your playthrough, or at least stop and take in the views for a second at some of these locations. This is going to take you to all corners of the map and everywhere in between, so it's a good opportunity to see the real beauty in this game. Okay, enough yapping, lock in, nerds. It's time to find some Dinosaur Bones. To start the actual Stranger mission, a Test of Faith, you need to go to the Heartlands south of the H on your map. When you get close enough, you'll see the Stranger cloud for the mission on your map. Approach Deborah, let her yap about how she's a genius, blah blah blah, and when the cutscene is done, you're ready to start collecting. Now, a couple of details to point out. You do not have to start this Stranger mission in order to start finding all the Dinosaur Bones. However, you will not be able to inspect the 30th one until you have started the mission with Deborah. Also, you can only collect 22 bone locations as Arthur. The final 8 are located in the New Austin section of the map, which you can't access until the epilogue, unless you use some sort of glitch, mod, or cheat, but that's on you. I tend to stick to what the game intended you to experience. That being said, I'm going to start by covering the first 22 locations that you could find as Arthur. Then we will move on to the final 8 in the epilogue. Since you're already here at the side mission location, I'm going to use this as our starting point and go to the next closest locations in order to keep the rides short and minimize backtracking. But it will help at some points if you have fast travel unlocked, and if you don't have that unlocked yet, I've got you covered with a step-by-step guide on how to do that right here. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. Alright, location number 1, let's ride. It's northeast of you, just south of the R and Heartlands on your map. At the oil derrick, you'll see this poor worker crushed by a piece of the machine. Cruise past him and climb down the ladder to find your first Dinosaur Bone. From this location, the next one is real close, southeast of you, just before the road south of you on the map. Follow the dried up riverbed south and you'll see the second Dinosaur Bone just before you reach the rock face. Next is another short ride southwest of your location, just north of the railroad. When you see that you're getting close to the railroad, kick on your eagle eye and you should see the third Dinosaur Bone in the middle of the grass. From here, it's a straight shot east of your location, to just underneath the L in Lemoyne on your map and south of Dewberry Creek. Here you'll find the fourth Dinosaur Bone surrounded by a few big rocks. Alright, location number 5 is just north of you on the other side of Dewberry Creek, and you'll see it here just before the creek meets the grassy area near some more big rocks. And just like that, the first 5 are done. Not so bad, right? It's a lot of riding, but I like to set a marker and kick on cinematic mode, which allows me to put the controller down and just enjoy the vibe for a while. But you play how you want. The next location is northeast of Emerald Ranch, just north of the O in Hanover on your map. You'll see a cabin just off the road, and to the south of the cabin is the Dinosaur Bone number 6. From here, it's a straight shot east to this location just northwest of Van Horn and west of the stables. This one's just off the road southwest of the intersection on the map. Fire up your eagle eye and you can see these dinosaur bones from a decent distance. Next, we're going west of this location, past the Elysian Pool to the Kamasa River. This one is located right at the dot of the I in the word river on your map. It's a little tricky to get to, so I suggest getting to the west side of the river, find the little break in the cliff, and gracefully make your way down to the 8th dinosaur bone. From here, we're going northeast to this location north of Annisburg, east of the O and the A in Roanoke on your map. This is the 9th dinosaur bone, and you can see it up on the cliff overlooking the road here. The next one is a straight shot west on your map located here on the border. Once you see the giant Ambarino sign on the mountainside, you'll know you're close. Shimmy up the rocks and find the 10th dinosaur bone on the cliff looking outwards towards the northeast. Now we're going northwest, north of O'Cray's Run, north of the O in Ambarino, and just south of the Farewell Shanty. Turn off the road and look south when you roll up on these big boulders. You'll see this one in the grass on the hill, and you've got your dinosaur bone number 11. For location number 12, we're going southeast of this location, directly west of O'Cray's Run, just under the S in the word east on your map. Now, getting to this one is also a little tricky, and when I say tricky, I mean a pain in the ass. The map will tell you to go south of O'Cray's Run and just get off the road here, but there's a whole freaking mountain in the way. The best way I found is to go to the northwest corner of O'Cray's Run and get off the road here and head into the mountains. Take your horse as far up as you can go, and then it's time for some rock climbing. Follow this path here and be careful because Arthur is slipping and sliding and ready to fall down the mountainside with one wrong step. After you admire the view for a second, damn, I love this game. Set up camp to easily get back to the bottom of the mountain and prepare for the next location. This one is number 13 and is directly west of your location, northeast of Fort Wallace, just under the Wallace Station on your map. Once you get south of Fort Wallace, head off the road to the northeast and up into the trees and rocks. You'll see the dinosaur bone resting on a rock overlooking the fort. From here, we're going north of your location, northeast of Donner Falls, just west of the I in Ambarino on your map. Head off the road and up the hill, and dinosaur bone number 14 is embedded into the rock. Next is number 15, directly south of Kotara Springs and north of the river. Again, the map will tell you to follow the path here, but the fossil is up high on a cliff and can't be reached from the south. So it's best to approach from the north a little closer to Kotara Springs. Once you're on the cliff overlooking the river and the fort is in the distance, you'll see the dinosaur bone down the side of the cliff. You could drop down and collect it, but if you're like me and end up sliding down the mountain before you get to it, here's a little tip. Set up a camp and it will bring you back up to the top of the cliff for you to easily try again. This time, jump to the cliff's edge so you don't go sliding down like me. Okay, that was Dinosaur Bone number 15. We're officially halfway there. Are you still with me? Lock in. If you want that 100%, we gotta keep moving. From here, it's a short ride southwest just under the sea and Cumberland Forest on your map. You can fast travel to Valentine to save a little bit of time. When you get close, instead of taking the path that heads down towards the river, follow the road that goes into the trees. The 16th Dinosaur Bone is just off the road on the cliff overlooking the river to the west. Now you're going to follow the river to the southwest and knock out 2 more Dinosaur Bone locations that are real close to each other. First one is northwest of Valentine on the north side of the river here. Once you cross the river, take the path to the left. Do not go up the mountain. The 17th fossil is on a rock wall closer to the river. From here, it seems like a real short ride just across the river to the next location, but this one is on a cliff top again. So it's easier just to set up camp real quick, which will bring you back up near Valentine. Then just make your way to the marker that's a little north of your campsite, and you've got the 18th fossil. Alright, we're on to the final 4 that we're able to collect as Arthur, so lock in, nerds. The 19th Dinosaur Bone is somewhat close. It's past Cattail Pond just north of Wallace Station and east of Watson's Cabin. This one is not a far ride, but if you're not following along with each location, you could just take a train to Wallace Station. It will put you real close to this one. Head north up the road away from Wallace Station, but before you get to where the road ends and turns into a path, veer left or west off the road and you'll see a cave opening along the mountainside. Be careful because there can be a bear in here sometimes. The 19th fossil is inside the small cave. Now we're going back southeast past Wallace Station again. There was bound to be some backtracking, so we just gotta deal with it. Directly east of where it says Dakota River on your map, head off the road and look north at the rock face and you'll see the 20th Dinosaur Bone fossilized into the side of the rock. The next 2 are somewhat close together, and the last 2 that you're able to access as Arthur. They're directly west of your location in Big Valley. The first one we'll go to is just west of Mount Shan on your map. This one is literally on the path, and I guarantee I rode by this one at least 100 times without knowing it was there. Take a second to admire the view. Once again, this game is unbeatable. Now we're off to the last location north of New Austin. Smack dab in between the W and the E of West Elizabeth on your map and south of Vetter's Echo. This one is literally directly on the path going up the mountain and is super easy to access. Alright, that's all 22 Dinosaur Bones that you can collect as Arthur without using mods, cheats, or glitches. So if you've not yet reached the Epilogue, save this video for when you get there and come back for the rest of the Dinosaur Bones to get that 100%. But once you get to the Epilogue and you're able to free roam as John, we're ready to get back to collecting. We're going to start at the top of New Austin and head southwest as we go. 23rd Dinosaur Bone is west of McFarland's Ranch and just south of the first inn in Hennigan's Stead. Once you cross the little walking bridge, you should see it by the rock wall. From here, we're going south directly near the shore of the San Luis River. When you get close to the shore, you'll see a little dried up riverbed leading to the river, and the 24th location is on the west side of that. Up next for the 25th location, we're going west past Lake Don Julio, right at the K and Rio del Lobo rock on your map. Once you get to where the road won't go any further, make your way up the Del Lobo rock, and you'll see the bones overlooking the San Luis River when you're facing south. All right, final 5. We're almost done. Stay with me. Heading west again to just underneath the B and Bravo on your map for the 26th location. Now, the waypoint will have you go far north around Fort Mercer and come back down. But the terrain is not too bad and you could pretty much just head west until you get to the road here south of the fort. Hop off the road to the left before the cliffside gets too tall to cross, and you'll find the bones close to the cliff once again overlooking the river to the south. For the 27th Dinosaur Bone, we're going straight north of your location, past Fort Mercer and past Mercer Station, between the A and the U in Austin on your map. The waypoint will put you right into Jorge's Gap, so make sure you go west of it and head up the hill. You'll see the bones on the highest part of the hill and some bushes. Going north again past Pleasant's house and just west of Rattlesnake Hollow. The Otis Miller revolver is also located here. I've got that covered in another video. Head off the road here and go straight for the cliffside. You'll see the 28th bone fossilized into the side of the rock before having to climb anything. Final 2. Are you still with me? Well, lock in, nerds. We're almost done. This next one is located actually in the town of Tumbleweed, so set up camp and fast travel to make it a little easier if you've already discovered it, of course. If not, then you're hoofing it like me. Once you get to Tumbleweed, look for the windmill and head towards it. The bones are on another cliff you can't get to from the south, so find the windmill and approach from the north and you'll see the 29th Dinosaur Bone location near the cliff's edge. Here we go, last one. It's a short ride directly north of you, between the D and the G and the word ridge on your map. It's on yet another cliff, so I set my marker to the E on the map that will bring you to the path northeast of the marker that leads you closer to the final bone location. Take the path up the rock and take an immediate right, up and over the hill, and you'll see the bones on the cliff's edge looking out west. You did it, you got all 30 dinosaur bones. That wasn't so bad. Not gonna lie, it was pretty brutal, but we got it done. Now, all you gotta do is go to any train station or post office and send your outgoing mail to Deborah MacGuiness. You gotta kill 24 hours in the game, and Deborah will send you another letter telling you to go to her homestead so she could show you her research. Once you receive this letter, there'll be a stranger mission marked DM added to your map at Firwood Rise, northeast of Valentine and Cumberland Forest. Head there to complete the Dinosaur Bone stranger mission and collect your reward.
Hello there! Who are you?
I'm a friend of Arthur's. He passed a few years back, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I've been sending you the bones since then.
Oh, I wondered why there was such a hiatus. Well, come in. I cannot wait to show you the fruits of your labor. You'll be quite amazed. I was right, of course. Quite right. Lovely to see you. Here, just as I thought. Totalosaurus West Elizabethus. The Elizabethan Megasaur.
That's quite a monster.
Oh, it'll change everything. It's incredible. Tail. Fins for swimming. 3 pairs of legs so it could run extra fast, even in mud. Large tusks for doing tusky-type things. And long spines that acted as wings. They said I was a fool, a silly old woman. I was right all along. Oh, this is the happiest day since, well, since my sister died. But that's another story. Thank you. I will, of course, share the credit.
Oh, that's okay. I like to keep a low profile.
Really?
Yeah.
I must give you something. Something valuable. Here, take this. The handle is genuine Stegosaurus bone.
Wow. Thank you. All the best.
The same to you, sir.
Thank you so much for watching. That was a hell of a project. So if you made it through to the end of this video, I want to say I really appreciate it. Please make sure to check out my other videos as I cover everything related to Red Dead Redemption 2, as well as some other games and even film and TV series now. Make sure to like and subscribe, find me in the comments, and as always, I'll catch you in the next adventure.